Hey there, Stampers. So today I'm going to share with you how to make this telescope card. So it kind of looks like a shadow box. It's got lots of depth to it. You can see if I flip it that way, but it will still fold flat and fit inside of a medium size envelope. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, you are going to need this is going to be your outer piece, so I've used Calypso Coral, so this is going to be the outside piece, and it measures 4 1/4 by 7 1/4, and then it is scored at 1/2 inch and 1.5 inches from either end. So it's scored 1/2 inch here, 1/2 inch here, 1.5 here, and 1.5 here. Okay, so that's the first piece. The second piece, which is the next layer, so this is the patterned paper, and I used the Delightful Daisy patterned paper, and that measures, I use this gorgeous pattern here, this measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/4, and it's scored at 1/2 inch from either short end, so 1/2 inch here and 1/2 inch here. Okay, and then we need our next layer, as you can see, is the Night of Navy. So this is Night of Navy, and it also measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/4, and it's scored at 1/2 inch from either short end as well. So 1/2 inch here and 1/2 inch here. And then the other piece that you need is your back piece. So this piece here, and that measures 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, and you don't need any score lines on that. Okay, so those are the pieces that you need to make the actual box itself, and then whatever you decide to put on in the center, you'll need extra cardstock and stuff for that, and same with your greeting. Okay, so as far as assembling and cutting, let's go ahead and get started with that. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the outside piece, so the Calypso Coral piece, and we are using the Layering Squares Framelits set, and I've used the largest oval, scalloped oval from that set. And what you're going to do is you're going to run it through the big shot. You're going to center it between these two score lines here. So center it all the way around. Okay, and then you'll run it through. So that's that one. And then your next layer, once that is run through, you'll end up with a piece that looks like this. So then you'll take your next layer, which is your patterned paper, and you're going to line up your score lines. So you're lining up the 1/2 inch score line here and this score line here, like that. You don't want to stick anything down just yet, but what you're going to do is you're going to take, this is the second largest square, so not the scallop square, but the second largest straight square, and you're going to position that on there and just center it between that scallop square, and then you'll run that through the big shot and cut it out. Okay, so that's your second layer. And then once that's cut, it looks like this. And then your third piece, what you're going to do is you're basically just going to line this up, because these are exactly the same size, but you can line the score lines up if you want. But like I said, the pages or the papers are the same size and the score lines are in the same spot. And then we are going to take, this is also from the Layering Squares, and it's the one that measures, the inner measurements is 2 1/8 inch square. Okay, I think the outer measurements are 2 3/8. And you're basically going to do the same thing. So you're going to position this in the center and then feed it through the big shot so that it cuts out your square here. Okay, so that's the cutting that you need to do. Now as far as assembling, let's move these pieces, these uncut pieces out of the way. What you're going to do is you're going to take the patterned paper one first, and what you want to do, because I found mine doesn't necessarily, see, if I line up these score lines, that does not look like it's in the center. So I think it goes this way. So figure out which way it goes first, and then you're going to stick it on. Okay, but what you want to do, you can see here that you're not going to line it right up with this score line here. You're going to leave about 1/4 inch from that score line before you stick it on. Okay, so let's go ahead and peel this off. And I can't take credit for this idea. I got this idea from CraftyPerson. So you can see here, hopefully you can't see my head in the video. I'm just lining it up so that it's straight, and it's about 1/4 of an inch, might be a little bit less. So yeah, I got the idea from CraftyPerson, and then I just switched up the design a little bit to make it my own. And then I'll peel back this backing. So I used tear and tape. I found that that adhesive is really good. If you've got like red line tape or sticky strip, that works well as well. Fast fuse would work as well. The only thing is I found that I like working one side at a time. But I guess you could just still lay it flat and run your adhesive on so that you're doing it one layer at a time. I just found tear tape worked really well. Okay, so then this gets stuck on, again, about 1/4 of an inch from that score line. All right, so now we've got that bit is done. And then our next layer, we're gonna do the same thing. So the next layer is the navy blue, and you're gonna do the same thing. So you can see that there's about 1/4 of an inch. So you're not gonna line it right up with the score line. You're gonna leave about 1/4 of an inch. Oh, let's make sure that we've got it going the right way here. So that does not necessarily look right. That looks better. Okay. So peel off the backing, and then again just fold it, and I'm lining it up about 1/4 of an inch from that second score line. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. And this, it's not difficult to do, but it is a bit on the finicky side. There we go. I think that's good. Okay, so there's our base. And then what you're going to do is you're going to just peel off the backing here and stick this piece on like that. Now, if you are stamping directly on this, you obviously want to do that stamping before you do this next step. But for mine, I added the daisy on afterwards. So I can go ahead and do that. Okay, so then I'll just line this edge up here like so. Actually, it's probably easier if I do it this way. Okay, so stick that down like that, and then I'll peel off the backing like of this last one and attach this here like that. There we go. And there's the base of our card. So then what I've done is I've used the Daisy Punch and the Daisy Delight stamp set, and I've stamped the daisy twice and punched it out using the punch, and then just used my bone folder and just kind of curled up the petals a little bit, and then added one of our gold faceted gems in there. So, and I've got a dimensional on the back, and then I will just slide this in here and center it where I want it. And so CraftyPerson might be handy for this, just to get it where I want it. That looks good. Pop it down there, and then my greeting is somewhere on the table here. Here we go. So I have used the Thoughtful Banner stamp set. So any of these greetings in here will fit, but I chose to use the Celebrate. I stamped it using Old Navy ink, or Night of Navy ink, and then punched it out using, I can't remember the name of this punch, the label punch that we carry. And then all I did was just kind of curled it a little bit. And I will use a mini glue dot, which I don't have handy right now, and just stick it on there. And then that will be my card. So it's very, very simple, but I wanted to show you what I did with the extra pieces, because you know when you cut the images or the shapes out, you end up with these shapes which layer perfectly. So you can do something with these as well. So what I did was I stamped a daisy in the Calypso coral, added a stamped center, and then added some navy ribbon. And is that not the cutest little tag? And it's using up the extra pieces that you have. All right, so thanks for watching. If you're looking for more inspiration, feel free to visit my blog at www.stamptreasures.com. Bye-bye.